Hello, Embers. What's going on? We're back for another episode of the podcast. It's kind of weird. It's not Wednesday. We know we put out some information, so please check the information before you come at us saying stuff like, it's not Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. Two things. One, shut the fuck up. Two, check out the fucking the information we put out, for God's sake. Fucking always on our ass, bro. People never want to just like give us a second to fucking breathe. I'm so goddamn sick of fucking trying my goddamn fucking hardest to make content, be a good fucking influencer, and then everybody's like, oh, it's not Wednesday. Like, reduce it down to that much simple fucking nonsense. Fine. Yeah, you're gonna get us. Whatever. What's going on?
My
Sorry.
dad texted me on Thursday. He goes, "Where's the pod?" And I sent him the Instagram to the Flameside pod Instagram. I'm like, check the story, bro. And he's been busting my chops about not having a pod out. But
Listen, I really question the validity of somebody's qualms with the podcast who so clearly defiled the traditional
sanctity.
sacred nature of the himothy by influencing voters. For that same person to come by and question how we're running the schedule, I have a
Yeah.
lot of questions myself about that.
Come on, pops. Come on, pops.
We're talking Mr. Release Side, influence voters to make sure his Himothy won in spades. Oh wow! All right, get out of here.
He still has the most votes of all time, though.
He does. Yeah, no, he's right. And I actually had that in the back of my mind. His advice when he was like, don't miss an app, don't miss a Wednesday, because like, that is very important when you're trying to make something that is consistent and meaningful. So I do apologize. We did have a discussion several times about what timing makes the most sense for us, and we both found that like after a day at work when we're long out from our caffeine, like we are probably less energized than we are. Sorry, caffeine. Good vibes, all that. So apologies, but we're kind of enjoying this. So
Yeah, I feel like it's a good thing for you Embers, that we record on Saturdays because like our energy is going to be so much better on Saturdays, like guaranteed. Like, I mean,
certainly.
just look at this past Wednesday. We decided to do this Saturday because you were showing your apartment, correct? And then so you come back from that, it's like, 8 o'clock my time, like 9 o'clock your time. It's like, at that point, our days, like our energy levels are, like you said, just at the fucking in the shitter.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's we're a bit less lively. I mean, we just after a day of work, after a fucking 45-minute train ride back from Brooklyn, where we saw an apartment that was like the last thing in the world we would ever like consider living in. Yeah, it's fucking annoying. So, yeah, it's better off we do it this way. I think. I mean, I'm only halfway through my coffee, so I'm only getting more riled up as we go here. And we got some topics that I honestly like. I'm pretty passionate about. Teaser, teaser. We were having a bit of a discussion about Amazon Prime's The Boys before we hopped on call here, and I have some things to say. I want to be careful about the way I speak about it because I'm caught up as of like the most recent episode was like 2 days ago, so I don't want to spoil anything. So I'll be considering in my mind the best way to speak about it, but I have some things I want to get off about The Boys. So
yeah, before we get into that, I want to address the elephant in the room, the massive fucking elephant that we were in New York, or that I was in New York with you,
holy shit,
and no content was produced by the Flame Side in New York as
bro.
promised. So yes, guys, we fell short. Get off our ass.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know, like we had a great time in NYC though. Nothing was bad. It was a great time. It wasn't like, fuck the Flame Side type shit. It was just, got distracted with other things.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, we can tell the viewers that vanilla kind of lie about what happened, or we can tell them the truth, which is that we actually recorded a shit ton of content, including really fucking fun stuff. We went to a psychic, we interviewed people, we fucking dumped slime on people on the sidewalk.
The
But
basketball
unfortunately,
game, right?
the
$20
basketball
if you
game,
beat me.
yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, the Sidemen had exclusive recording rights for the entire city of New York for that space, so we actually couldn't use any of the footage. We had to delete it. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
the sideman literally put us in a fucking chokehold and said like delete everything you recorded or your channel's done. Your channel's
yeah,
ours.
yeah.
So
But we did find out they're pretty big fans of the pod, so shout out Simon.
yeah, shout out Sideman, Rodashaw,
Yeah.
Simon, KSI, Bazinga, all those guys.
Um,
Uh,
so I
Number
didn't.
15,
Yeah, I was about to bring that up myself.
funny enough.
Yeah.
So who do you got?
Well, I'm gonna go a bit off the board here, and I kind of thought about this. I do think because like the past couple times I've looked up like the number and like tried to find somebody I like. I don't think that's the proper way to go about it for me personally. I think it's kind of fun if I just like shoot from the hip with the first one that comes to mind. And do you know who came to mind first for number 15 for me?
Who?
Cal Clutterbuck of
Oh
namely the
my gosh.
namely the New York Islanders, number 15. And I will admit I did confirm that he was number 15 because I wasn't positive. I'm like, is he actually 15? He is. And yeah, he just came to mind. I don't know what the fuck to say. You got a 15?
Yeah, I did actually look up some NBA players that wore 15 and I picked my favorite and I picked Emmanuel Mudiay who wore it one season for the Nuggets in like 2020. But
I don't
Emmanuel
even know.
Mudiay, dude, if only OGs will remember Mudiay. I know
Maybe.
my dad probably remember. I think my dad liked Emmanuel Mudiay.
Mhm.
I also had Jokic just because like shout out the
Uh,
GOAT. Shout out the
mhm.
best player in the NBA, mine as well, right?
Not true. You like Clutterbuck?
Yeah, I like Cal. He plays hard.
I feel like
Plays bigger than his actual size, you know?
I feel like he's been in the league longer than I've been alive. I can't remember like a day where Kyle Clutterbuck has not been an NHL player. You know,
For as
like
long as I've watched hockey.
I don't know how old he is. Let me get an age check.
Does he
But
still play?
yeah,
Oh
he's only
my God.
36.
Cal Clutterbuck, man.
He was drafted in '06. So yeah, I mean he's probably been playing hockey as long as I've been paying attention.
He is what a fucking name.
Uh huh. Awesome name. It's a name
Clutterbuck.
you remember. I think he had a stint with Minnesota at one point, but I mean he's been an Islander for so long.
He
Let
did
me
have a stint with Minnie.
Yeah, so he went. Oh my God, he had a big stint. So he was. Oh, he got drafted by Mini. That's why. Yeah, he was played with Mini until 2013, and then he went to the island for the next 10 years. So, yeah, bro. I mean, he sucks, but he's fun.
Yeah, he does suck.
um,
Do you want to get into emails? Do you want to do something else? We did get an email and we got kind of two emails this week.
yeah, we should. Do we? I mean, do we have anything that we actually want to discuss from your time in New York? I mean, do you have any thoughts burning, or do we want to have our own little segment about New York, or should we just get it out now? Because honestly, I don't know if we're gonna say too much. I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
not much to say really, besides the Simon cucking us. That's really the only thing. It's really
Yeah, I
the
mean,
only thing.
I mean, I took you to a couple restaurants. We actually met up with your mother in New York, which is cool. But I mean, did you have a favorite restaurant, favorite thing we did?
Yeah, my favorite restaurant in New York was like probably easily the hot dog stand right by your
Oh
place. The
yeah,
what's that? Gray's Papaya, is it
Gray's
called?
Papaya. Yeah,
Dude, it's the best hot dog I've ever had, easily.
yeah, it's got some lore. I know it was in Sex and the City. It's kind of an iconic spot there. I know Carrie Bradshaw was a big fan. Allison, what's the lore on Grays? Anything besides that, or just Sex and the City?
She only goes to it once in the show, that's all I know. But they were Team Black during the House of the Dragon marketing.
Yeah. Okay. So she only went once, I guess. I thought it was like really iconic, though. Is it not?
It is, but that's all I know from it. I think it's just famous hot dogs and stuff.
Okay. It's okay. So less so Sex and the City, more so just an iconic spot, I guess. And they did some House of the Dragon promo stuff.
And they were on the right side of history.
So yeah.
I also want to say that pizza place that we had the last night. That the last pizza we had there was so fucking good, dude.
Uh
I've been
huh.
thinking about it. I don't remember the name though.
Yeah, so the first one I took you to is L'Industrie, which is kind of widely regarded as the, if not one of the best pizza spots in New York. We also went to Made in New York Pizza, which is a bit more of a spot on the Upper
A little
West Side.
closer to like Sbarro.
Yeah, probably a bit cheaper. I would say more traditional, like New Yorkish. I mean, they're true to their name. And then we got Mama's Two the last night, which is a
So
spot in the Upper
good.
West Side, which was really fucking good. It was my first time having it as well because we're in the Upper West Side, but we're a bit on like the southern end of it, and it stretches like 40, 50 blocks, so it's very far north. It's past Columbia, and at least I think it is. And yeah, we got it. It was really good pie. So.
That was easily like my favorite pizza I had there. I mean, even better than La Industrie, which is like supposed to be the GOAT, but like I really like that pizza
Yeah,
from Mama's Two's or whatever. That
yeah,
shit
I
was
know.
so good.
Yeah, we hit a couple good spots. I know Scars is supposed to be really good. I want to go check that out soon. So we'll see. But yeah, Good pizza. Anything else memorable for you?
I mean, it was just a good ass time, like walking around. I mean, there's some stories that like would probably be good for the show, but like I think for my own personal like well-being, I'd rather not like get into certain things.
That's
I'm
fine.
sure I'm sure you could know what I'm referring to there,
I haven't a damn clue.
but it was fun. We went to bed at 5 a.m. on Saturday night, which was crazy, but
Yeah,
it was fun. I had a great ass time.
yeah, it was funny. So would you move here? Would you live here?
I would.
Awesome.
I actually would, but it is expensive. That's probably like the only holdup I have.
Oh my God, it's
Like I
crazy.
would be broke pretty fast.
We've been trying to take a look. Our lease is up at the end of August here. Sorry, I'm gonna get into this before emails because it's too much of a smooth transition. We've been doing some apartment hunting because we don't need to be by Columbia anymore because Allison's done with the program, and we need to live somewhere cheaper probably. So we've been looking more in Brooklyn. And we've seen a couple apartments. One of the apartments that we saw, which was like honestly a super shitty place, like we walk in, and as we're walking in, this girl is walking out who was also seeing the place, and she's talking to the shower, and she's like, "Oh, this is exactly what me and my friend are looking for. Like, we cannot wait to apply. Like, we're this is like perfect for us." And we're just like standing there awkwardly, and then like the shower turns back to us. She goes, "Okay, so you have any questions?" We're like, "All right, like,
Oh,
let's
Jesus, bro.
get the fuck out of here."
So you
And
think
then
that lady saw you and was like, I'm gonna say this in front of them, like on purpose?
no, I just think she's kind of a dumb fuck
Like
because
she
the
was dead
place.
ass, like infatuated with the place?
I think so. Yeah, the place was ass though, so I don't really know. Maybe maybe they actually have it set up like that. Like they're both in on it to kind of like drive up some
Oh
demand for the
my
apartment.
gosh.
You know?
Could you imagine?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't know why. We've actually run into that a couple times where people seem overly enthusiastic about like a unit that we're seeing when it's like is objectively not a good spot, especially for the cost. Like, that place we saw was essentially the same price as the one we're in right now. And that one had like no laundry in the building. It was like two extra flights of stairs. It was like probably less space in total. And also, like, Brooklyn is kind of like you're supposed to be getting a bit of a better deal when you move to Brooklyn relative to Manhattan. Like it's supposed to be a bit cheaper. So, like, I just don't understand the thought process there. Like, if you're not getting a place that's like significantly nicer for the price than like the Upper West Side of Manhattan, then like what the fuck are you doing? So I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Touring apartments is a pain in the ass. New York sucks. They have a broker fee here, which is a bit unique. I think basically here in Boston are some of the only places where that's kind of standard practice. Do you know much about a broker fee?
Is that like without knowing anything about that, is that like the person that shows you, like you have to pay them, like even if you're not like committing?
Well, you pay them if you get the place, but they take you can negotiate it, but essentially a lot of brokers around here will take like 10% of a year's rent for a place. So like for example,
Damn.
for our place, I mean like our broker has been helpful, so I don't want to like put him on blast or anything, but like it is kind of crazy when like you yourself go find the spot on like Street Easy, you go to it, you say yes, I'd like to buy this place, like you put all your paperwork together, you send in everything, and then like basically the person who just like walks you through it and like submits the paperwork, you have to give them, we ended up giving them close to $5,000 like upfront, like just because like there's a broker's fee. And yeah, a lot of places here require it, some places don't, but if you're filtering your search by no broker fee in New York, you're going to have to be like really on top of your search because it narrows it down quite a bit. So it sucks, like it's very expensive, and like it makes the moving process a lot worse because like if you're like us where you're already in New York, like you need to have like a really good reason to want to move because you're going to end up basically losing money either way because you have to pay for the fucking broker's fee in a new place hypothetically. So it's annoying. Moving in New York is a pain in the ass no matter
Have
what.
you
So
considered like other locations at all, really, with your girlfriend or no?
like outside of New York,
Yeah, yeah.
at this point, not really. I know she wants to be here for she's in the journalism industry, so being here is important to her. So I think we do still want to be here. I think give it another year or so, depending on where her career is at, we might want to move around. I personally have desire to see some other cities while like we're young and flexible. I don't know how much she does, but we'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
okay, what's like a city or two that you would be like interested in? Like,
I joke
hypothetically.
I joke about it a lot, but a city like Seattle, I think, would be really cool. Like not necessarily even Seattle, but like
What's the
a
joke
city.
about it?
I just like it's not even a joke. It's just whenever we're talking about like other cities, I always say like let's move to Seattle. Like I don't even know why it kind of just caught on because like I don't even really care about Seattle that much. It's just like it's just funny to think about like moving completely across the country to fucking Seattle. But I mean, Seattle's a pretty cool city from what I
So
understand. And
dope,
like
dude. So dope.
yeah, I do think living in like a West Coast city, at least for a little bit, just to like feel the vibe and like enjoy some fucking like temperate weather for a little bit would be super
I
nice.
mean, it's got some Portland energy. Do you like Portland at all?
Yeah, I do like Portland. I've heard good and bad things about Portland, but I would definitely want to visit and see what's up with it. It seems cool. I also really want to visit Vancouver, which shouldn't be too farther from there, so that's cool. I know a bunch of beautiful national parks around there. Mount Olympia, Olympia, I think. I always get Olympia and Olympus mixed up. I think it's Olympia National Park is supposed to be extremely beautiful. It's not too far from Seattle. So yeah, I mean, I think we've been wanting to visit that area for a while, just like on vacation. So we'll take a trip, and at some point, hopefully we can. I do want to live in different cities while we can. I'm sure she'll be open to it at some point, but we'll see. We another one that we visited together on vacation. She's telling me no. Another one we visited on vacation over a year ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. We visited Savannah, Georgia, which was actually way cooler than I was expecting it to be. I kind of have a resistance to the South just because of like vibes, but Savannah, Georgia was beautiful. I had a great time. So
Friend of the pod, Alex, is going to Savannah in 2 weeks.
he's gonna
So
like that.
so
He's
he'll
gonna
get a
like that.
taste. He's been on a few episodes, so y'all
Mhm.
y'all are familiar with Alex.
Yeah, I would live in Savannah. I don't know if it'd be like my first choice, but I would certainly enjoy it. It's a cool city. They have a lot of fun stuff going on. I do think in the summer months when he's going, it's a little bit miserable. It gets very
Too hot.
swampy. Oh my god, yeah. Oh
Aren't
my
they like
god,
on a
yeah.
beach? Is this crazy? Aren't they on a beach? Is that so dumb?
Yeah, no, they are. There, we went to the beach there.
Yeah, isn't it pretty nice, dude? I heard.
The beach we went to wasn't anything I would write home about, but perhaps there are nicer parts of it, or perhaps it was just like a bad time because we went like in the winter, so it wasn't like particularly warm there. It was
It's
actually colder than we thought.
it's funny to me that you've name dropped Seattle and Savannah because those it's funny enough because those are two places that I've like actually always wanted to like go to. Like back when I was younger, I wanted to go to Savannah for school because they have like this university there called SCAD.
SCAD, we saw
Yeah.
SCAD. We toured.
Yeah,
Well, we
and
didn't tour it,
it's like
but
a super artsy, like
oh
super
yeah,
good school for like, graphic design and stuff like that, which is what I wanted to do back in the day. So I wanted to go to
SCAD's
SCAD really
sick.
bad. I used to really want to go there. And Seattle has just always been like my favorite city just because I love the rain. So
Mhm. Oh yeah, we get plenty of that there.
yeah, my lease is up too. Like not super soon, but like 5 months away, dude. So, we'll
Already,
see what the
damn.
hell I end up doing. Yeah, right? Like shit flies by.
Is there a sneaky probability you get out of the Midwest or probably not?
I would say it's not very likely because there's just like some certain things that are like kind of up in the air. Our third roommate is looking to buy a house and he's looking to buy like a house with like multiple units like in it.
Mhm.
So like if he buys a house around here and I can go live like in his house, I'd probably jump all over that because
Yeah,
it'd be a pretty good situation.
certainly. Yeah.
But I would be totally willing. Like I know I was having conversations with Alex about like, maybe like going out of the comfort zone a bit and like trying out a new place or something like that. And like we were even talking about New York because like you're there, and our other good friend of the show, Luca's there. So like, we want to be around boys. That's what
Yeah,
it's all
certainly.
about.
I think even living in Chicago for y'all would be a good time, you
Yeah,
know?
we brought that up as well,
Uh-huh.
because that's like out of the comfort zone, but still like, close enough.
I would love to live in Chicago still. I think Chicago's a great city.
It is a good city, dude. It's every time I'm out there, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
so much different than New York, though.
certainly.
Like,
Yeah.
I was just there at New York, man. I've been to New York more recently than Chicago, and like the energy, it almost doesn't compare.
Yeah. Also, it's like, I mean, you saw, because our friend Luca lives in Brooklyn and I live in the Upper West Side, and that's pretty, well, he lives in Bushwick, Brooklyn, I should specify. And like, that's pretty much as stark as a vibe difference you can get in New York, you know?
Oh
Like
my gosh.
you're going from like family, dog, like fucking
Old people
like yeah, to Bushwick, which is essentially like we
walk
walked
out
out
of
of
the
this
subway.
we
Yeah.
walked out of the subway station, like table right in front of us selling joints, selling mushrooms and shit.
How
Walk
many
down the
weed
street.
cars did we see,
Well,
bro?
yeah, walk down the street. There's weed buses everywhere, which I didn't even know was a thing. You just like pop in, and I guess they drive you around and smoke you down. And yeah, like a bunch of like club scene. There's a very famous club that's in Bushwick, like right around the corner from Luca's, and they do kinky shit there. So yeah, it's certainly a vibe change. It's just funny. So it's like yeah, it's funny you get like you compare the energy from like New York to Chicago, and I actually saw somebody like laid out like the different neighborhoods of New York and Chicago, where like I think Lincoln Park was like fucking I don't even know which I think it was like the financial district or some shit, and then like they had Brooklyn more like I forget, but yeah, it's I mean you get different vibes in Chicago, but like it's just like in terms of like a on like a spectrum, like it's certainly like totally different
Oh
sides, you
my
know?
gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just I'm more comfortable with like Chicago, so it's not as like overwhelming, but like New York is crazy, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get to Gino's email because I feel like I want to give him
Yeah,
some love because he's been truly one of our most dedicated fans here on the Flame side. So
absolutely.
email us. The email should be on the screen. Send them in. Um, but Gino's email reads, "Hey Flame, hey Side. Hope you guys are doing well. We're doing good, Gino. For my first question, I'd like to know your guys' current favorite tune. Just one each, no exceptions." His second question is, as well, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts on the Trader Joe's employees. I think they're so fucking annoying. Like, don't talk to me while you're scanning my frozen orange chicken. Just keep that yapper shut.
Oh my god.
And lastly, also, I'm kind of having a midlife crisis at 21. I graduate college in 6 months and I don't know where I want to live or what I want to do. Any advice?
Mm,
Gino, you came to the right place for these questions. You came to the
certainly.
right place. So let's start off with the favorite tune. Do you have one? I prepared, so I can go first on all of these if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
So my current favorite tune on July 13th is Fisher by Cash Cobain featuring Ice Spice. That's my favorite song these days. So check that out.
Okay.
And it's not, it's Fisher, Fisherr by Cash Cobain. Such a banger. Such a banger.
Okay. I haven't heard of her, so I can't comment on that in particular, but um I don't want to be bland, but dude, I've been bumping the fucking Charlie XCX so much. It'd be unfaithful if I said anything besides 360 by Charlie XCX. I'm so sorry.
Isn't it
Like
like 360 Summer?
it
Or
is.
is
Well,
it
it's Brad
Charlie
Summer.
Brat Summer? That's what it
Yeah,
is.
it's just it's such a banger. Like I go through very like uh distinct phases with songs, and like I'm certainly still in the vibe where like I get home and like I'm playing something like aloud. I change my sound configuration of my computer to not go through my headphones but to go through my speakers, and I'm playing 360 by Charlie XCX like still, so it's fire. I've been enjoying it a lot. I
Yeah,
just
that is an amazing song, dude.
um I think the music coming out right now that like as that is popular on social media, like Brat, and even like fucking that one Billie Eilish song. I don't even have it saved, but
Birds of a
birds of a
feather.
feather, we should stick together. I mean, it's like it's fun, you know. So I'll go 360, but I mean, I'm just enjoying all the mainstream music right now. If I'm being honest, I feel like it's
Me
made for
too,
me.
dude. Me
So,
too. Fisher's pretty mainstream. I've seen a lot of it. Um,
oh
yeah,
really?
yeah, and he said only one each, so I'm not gonna say anymore, Gino, just because I'm sticking to your no exceptions. But check out Fisher, Gino. I think you'll like
Yeah.
it. Okay, so what's your thoughts on Trader Joe's employees? What do you think
Okay.
about that?
I do have thoughts. I mean, you said you're prepared. Do you want to shoot, or I can shoot if you want me to?
Yeah, so I only have been to Trader Joe's like once or twice, and my first experience going there, I could like tell like how eager she was to talk to me. And like I was kind of prepared because I've heard like, oh, Trader Joe's employees, like get ready, like you're gonna be talking to them. And I could tell she was like gonna talk to me as soon as I got up there, but I was like super ready for it. And, she was cool as fuck. And I didn't really have any issues with her. And I dropped that it was my first time there, and she gave me like the free Trader Joe's bag, you
Oh,
know?
cool.
So like she was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wrote this in here too for you, Gino. Just like in general, going to the grocery store and like I feel like every single like cashier will try to talk to you, but like you know that the conversation is going to end as soon as you pay. Like, so I feel like it's easier for me to like go and like not be annoyed by the conversation just because like I know it's going to be over like before you know it. It's not like you're stuck talking to them for like 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean they're typically like, they're typically chill. I think that I think they've evolved over the years a little bit. Like what was this interaction that you had at Trader Joe's recently?
Yeah, probably like 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is different on like on where you're visiting. Not to just start stealing the spotlight here, but like um I feel like I've definitely like hit the full array of like Trader Joe's employee experiences. To give a little context, like we had the one by our place, which is in like more suburban Chicago area. I had one in Madison, which like was so popular that they had a literal line like into the parking garage where like they would have somebody there like letting people come in and out like as a fucking like club, like as a capacity allowed for it. And then right now, I have one like literally across the street from my place, but we're right next to a major subway line. So like people will take the subway to my Trader Joe's to like get their groceries, even if it's further away from their own, just because it's easier for them to like, be on the train with their groceries than like walk like 6 blocks with them. So um I've been at some very hectic Trader Joe's, and I have a couple funny experiences. My general thought is that like um there are certainly annoying Trader Joe's employees that like take it seriously. I think they've taken it less seriously throughout the years, and I think typically I'm usually happy to have somebody there who like is willing to engage with me on a couple things. So, like for example, when I was going in Madison just a couple of years ago, a lot of the times they would hit me with a, "Oh, I love this," or like this and that, and like I did share that same sentiment as Gino, where it's like, "Shut the fuck up," you know? Like I feel like I'm a fucking toddler. Like, "Oh, great choice. Oh, thanks." Like the fuck do you care? Like what?
Yeah, they are
Actually,
on some shit like that. The lady, even with me, was hitting me with like, I said it's my first time, and she's like, "Oh, you're never gonna like stop coming here." Like, oh,
what the fuck?
all right, yeah, okay.
No, it actually makes me feel like I'm a fucking incel because it's like you probably tell all the shoppers this. Like I'm not special, you know. Like pisses me the fuck off. There should be like there should be a community of like young people going to Trader Joe's who are like Joe cells or something because like I'm not like I'm never gonna get the fuck a Trader Joe's employee clearly because like they're just like playing with you, you know. Anyway, sorry. Um, so yeah, I mean like that is annoying. My most recent experiences have all been in New York, and this one, like I said, is very busy, and they have a lot of workers, and I've communicated with a decent amount of them. One of the funnier interactions was right after the actually while the earthquake happened, I was walking to Trader Joe's, and like the earthquake
Oh,
so like yeah, like I'm seeing it all over like my social media. Like people are texting me like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Like the earthquake. I got to be honest, I didn't even feel the fucking earthquake. But we're walking down to the Trader Joe's and like we get our shit and we go talk to the cashier and like this guy like he's not making contact with me first. Like he's not a typical Trader Joe's employee. So I ask him, I'm like, "You feel that earthquake?" And his reaction was so fucked up. He clearly didn't feel it either. So he was trying to discern like, am I trying to make a joke with him? Am I trying to like get his goat? He had no idea how to respond. I think he just ended up giving like a little bit of a shrill like like what? And I'm like, no, like there's a literal earthquake, and he didn't believe. And he was like, okay, and it was
thought you were
really
fucking with
awkward.
him?
I guess I don't know what he thought. It was just extremely awkward. And then like, I think like a minute or 2 minutes later, he asked like, "Oh, like it was an actual earthquake." I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." He's like, "Okay." Like so, I don't know. Weird interaction. I haven't seen him recently, so they must have taken him out behind Trader Joe's and fucking shoved a fucking I don't know meat lasagna up his fucking tennis throat or some shit. I don't know. Got rid of him. But yeah, so that was kind of funny. Like I said, I don't think he was long for Trader Joe's. And then most recently, we had a guy checking us out. We needed bags, and he's like, "I don't charge for the bags," and I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh, thank you so much." And like, I kind of didn't like that though, because it's like I do appreciate him hooking me up, but at the same time, like you're making me feel like a fucking cuck because they're like 5 cents, bro. Like I don't care. Like you can charge me for the fucking bags. Like not a big deal. But
yeah, saving you a few pennies.
yeah, save me a few pennies at the expense of me having to grovel at his feet the whole time he's fucking bagging me. So, it is funny. Like you know when you're checking out Trader Joe's, like you're just gonna like have to be interacting and like yes, that could be annoying. Me personally, I do sometimes enjoy interacting with strangers, so I don't mind it. I think overall, I'd rather have it that way than not, but like you certainly open yourself up to some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, I
So,
also don't be pulling up to the grocery store like in a mood where like I'm like not trying to talk to anybody. Like I'd rather just like sit at home if I'm not in the mood to like be in public, you know?
sure.
And like
Yeah,
if I'm gonna
sure.
be in public, dude, and at the grocery store, like I'm ready for them to fucking like hit me with some shit.
Uh-huh.
And I must drop this as well. The Jewel employees, oh my gosh, man, they will run your mouth more than like Trader Joe's.
Oh
I
yeah.
swear, dude. I
Uh-huh.
swear. But I don't know. I don't like I said, like I just feel like the conversation's gonna end like so quickly. Like, come on, Gino, don't get pressed about her like, you know, asking you about your orange chicken, you know?
You should just pull up, like obviously have your earbuds in and like don't say a word. Like
Yeah.
stare off into space and make it very clear you're not fucking listening. How disrespectful would that be? I'd be so pissed if I was a bagger and someone did that. I'm sure they actually get that quite a bit, of
Definitely, dude.
like that'd be so annoying to me. But you should do that, Gina.
Yeah, I wonder like what kind of like specific like interaction you had, Gina, that made you say that. Like it was literally just
Yeah,
like a lady being like, "Hey, dude, like, did you find everything okay? Like, did you?" And Gino's
yeah,
like, "Shut the fuck up" in his head.
yeah.
All right, well
But
let's.
I also okay, sorry. I also think that like that question actually does piss me off. If you're in like you're checking out, oh, did you find everything okay? Like, doesn't fucking matter now, does it? I'm in the fucking checkout line. Like, maybe you should have asked me while I was looking for my shit. I don't know. And then, oh, dude, what you want me to be that fucker that goes and grabs something extra while you're checking my shit out? I actually want to go like run those people down and like fucking. Never mind. Sorry.
Did you find
Yeah,
everything okay? Oh, well, I couldn't find this one dip I really wanted. Like, what happens if in that interaction? Like, do they say like,
yeah,
"Oh, let's go get you that dip,"
yeah. I
and
mean, they're
like
probably
hold
just
up the
gonna.
whole line?
Yeah, what are they gonna say? They're probably gonna be like, oh, that's too bad. Like, okay, like,
Yes, that's a pointless question.
uh-huh.
All right. Well, the next one here, we got 6 minutes here. Do we want to even dive into it, or should we, for the sake of giving Gino a fair shake on his question, just end it here and pick it up, with the second?
Let's just end it here.
All right, y'all. We'll pick up with Gino's third question about his midlife crisis, and we'll see you then. Peace. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Flameside. I'm sure you guys were eagerly waiting for the second portion of the podcast to go on here. I know Gina was. He's like freaking sweating to hear what we have to say about his midlife crisis, I bet. So, Gino, I'm gonna lead off with this one as well, buddy, with your midlife crisis. You're 21 years old, no clue where to live or what to do. And we've actually had conversations on the pod, kind of in this realm before. We had a midlife or a quarter life crisis episode that we had, but I think you're more equipped to talk about this as you were in a similar boat, as in you went to college and you finished college and then had a choice to make of what the hell you wanted to do. So yeah, I kind of want to kick it to you in that way first. But if you want to give Gino any advice, he doesn't know what to do, where he wants to be, or any of that stuff. So
Certainly, certainly. So, I mean, okay, here's the thing: is I want to make sure that my first piece of advice to Gino is that I would recommend getting your terminology correct. This is a quarter life crisis. It is not the same thing as a midlife crisis. You've got at least 3 quarters left to go, buddy. So let's not start jumping the shark on that or anything of the sort. You've got a lot of time to figure things out, right? And that's going to play into a lot of how we discuss these kind of things in the context of our minds. We didn't just drop from a coconut tree. We exist within the context of how we're going to approach this exact situation, right? So you're finishing up college. There's no direct path towards a careership. There's not a direct path towards exactly what the fuck to do. So what do you do? Me personally, as you alluded to, I spent a year and a half ish at home because I didn't fucking know. And I think that that's something you'll hear a lot. People say is like, oh, just go home and save money. And I did it, and it helped and everything. And I don't know. It's difficult for me to recommend though because like I could probably have just as easily have found myself like living somewhere else and like doing shit and like um I don't know. I would say if it's an option and going home is comfortable, saving money while you have no clue what to do while living in close proximity to Chicago and your friends, it could be a good idea, because like I know ultimately you are a little bit of a New York head yourself, and like the more money you can build up heading into that, the better. Obviously, I mean, I just found out in the break here that my rent was getting raised about 12.5% in an economy where inflation isn't even half of that. So it's tricky. You're gonna want some fucking money when you're coming here. But if you don't want to come to New York, which I mean, it doesn't sound like you are set on anything, which is, I mean, I don't know. It's a good thing and a bad thing, right? I would say um, I would say a couple things. One is if everything that you need in your immediate life is within like a 70-mile radius, then living at home, saving money, being comfortable, having good access to the city from the metro is kind of nice. If you know that like a majority of things you're going to want to do require you to be in the city, i.e., be with your friends, i.e., explore opportunities in the city, I think there's nothing wrong with diving headfirst into it. I don't think anyone's going to look back on these kind of years and be like, oh, damn, I wish I would have gone home and like
Mm-hmm.
took a year in the suburbs. Like you're never going to have that regret. I would just say it's going to have to come down to a cost benefit analysis on your own end of like, okay, I'm going to have to pay this much to live with my friends and be that much closer to what I want to do. Does that matter to you right now? Does that matter to you right now, or do you is the as are your plans measured in centuries to where you know that like ultimately you probably want to get out to New York and having some money along the line would definitely help out with that. But then again, I know the industry that you're looking kind of more so to enter into, it might be a little bit tricky to get into from the suburbs of Chicago. So maybe it is time to just dive first into something. Maybe it is time to dive first into the city and just get your fucking neck out there. I honestly do think that like it's going to come down to how you perceive like your own readiness and your own determination to like throw yourself at like your career or throw yourself into those kinds of things. Like if you don't want to throw yourself into it right now, I would say, save some money, live close to the things you care about, and just take the train. If you know that like it's time to go for it, I say live in the fucking city, live with your friends, and go for it. What about
Yeah,
you?
I kind of want to interject right here with like the conversation of like living at home and stuff because I assume since you're asking us this, you are not particularly fond of how your brother decided to do this. Which because he pretty much is like in the exact same spot as you, like career wise, you guys have similar tastes. You and our friend Luca, after he finished school, he went home and I'm sure you would honestly be on a pretty similar trajectory, like probably maybe working at your dad's place or whatever, and just like saving up. And if like you don't want to do it the way that Luca did, then, you know, don't, obviously. I really think the biggest thing about all of it is just like being spontaneous and like doing things that you want to do. Like the fact that I'm even at this apartment right now, like I was living at home. I didn't really have any obligation to go live here, but like I just like wanted to make something happen. And like don't even like be worried about like, oh, like it's not calculated enough. I make a like decision that's not like what I want it to be. Like you're just gonna like anybody in the world is gonna have to deal with like making decisions that are like not gonna be perfect for them. And then like learning to adapt and grow like with the circumstances that like are presented with your decision, you know? Like so yeah, I really just think like being spontaneous and like even when I was first looking at this apartment, like it was with you, Shane. Like you were supposed to be our fourth roommate, but then like, you had to make spontaneous decisions and like it's just all about like, doing what you think is best and then just like literally trying to like get the most out of it and like dealing with like the negatives that like will inevitably come, you know?
Yeah. Um, I think that's good advice. I think sometimes it can be boiled down to a vibe check, and like when you alluded to it, like when we were all searching for apartments together and we were having a really difficult time finding one that would have fit all four of our needs, and like my heart wasn't totally into like pushing it, it just made so much more sense for me to bow out of that and have you all figure it out. And it turned out, I ended up in a great situation in New York with my girlfriend. So I do think there's a little bit of like a smell test, a vibe test that you have to go through, where it's like if you're staring down like a year at in the suburbs with your family and that feels weird to you, I agree with Vince. I think you gotta at least explore your options, and you're never gonna regret being spontaneous in that nature. I don't think so. I would recommend going for what feels right, what feels exciting, what feels true to yourself, and if that leans towards like putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, like we're young, everything's temporary. Leases are like 360 days. Go for it.
Yeah,
You
don't
know.
put like the weight of the world on your shoulders of like, got to make a decision and stuff. Like I wrote down in my notes to help you, like if I were you, I would just like honestly like set some short-term goals of like things that like you are like 100% like sure on and like make sure you do those things. Like that for me, that was like I do know that I want to leave my parents' house. That was like a short-term thing that like I was gonna like set for myself and like complete.
Mhm.
And I did. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like even like outside of like living situations and stuff, like with the podcast, like I had the idea for the podcast and I like was just sitting on it. Like I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And look at us now. We're on week fucking 15. And like it was all just because I decided to be spontaneous and ask Flame if he wanted to do it. So I just think it's about like kind of accepting that you're gonna have to do things that might be like uncomfortable for you and then just like dealing with it as it goes. I think that's like the best way to put it is just
Yeah,
getting out of the comfort zone and just fucking making sure there's things that you want. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what you want, Gino, but I do know like career wise, like what like relatively you want. Like try to like envision like, okay, if I have to do 6 months at home, at least I know like by month 7, like I'll be able to like I'll be in a better place for like my career or whatever, something like that.
yeah, that makes sense. I also kind of want to give some like biased, like not great advice, but just like me personally. I think Gino is such like a fun person and so easy to get along with that like I do think you should get your ass in the city and like be around people and
Hmm.
stuff because like I think you're the kind of person that like doors will open for you if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like some people just some people just got it like that. I think Gino's got it like that. I think if you throw yourself in the deep end, I think you'll float. That's my personal opinion
Me
on
too,
it.
man. I couldn't agree more. And like, yeah, dude, like I'm sure you look at your brother and like what he did and like I know his woes. Like I know he was not fucking with like being at home for all that time. Like as much as like there was things that he wanted to do that like he was like heavily restricted on. So like if you find yourself that like that's going to be an issue for you as well, like I wouldn't fuck around with it. I really wouldn't.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful for you, Gino. Thank you so much for sending in us an email after being one of our most dedicated listeners for the whole duration of the show at this point. So much appreciated, bro. I hope that helps you in some capacity. Um, I also wrote in my notes like just like the cliches. Oh, be spontaneous. Oh, this and that. Like I do like often, I don't know how I feel about cliches because I just feel like they are accurate at the end of the day, but like nobody wants to fucking hear the cliches. But
Mhm.
it's one of those things where like I do think it is like I wrote go with the flow and listen to your intuition. Like and I know like the cliches are like lame as fuck, but they kind of are true.
Mhm.
You just
Yeah,
gotta
I think cliches are cliches for a reason. At the end of the day, is they do carry some weight. I think, of course, like everything with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, right? Oh my fucking god, let's go. Sorry. And now I'm getting distracted. I'm like honestly very shook by the letter I just got at halftime, so I'm sorry. I'm on a different wavelength than I was
should we talk
like
about that?
yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, we're getting our rent raised. Did I get that math correct? We're getting our rent raised by 1/8 of what it currently is, which is 12.5%. And what was inflation this year? Let me look it up. What was inflation this year? Inflation this year was. Oh, this is monthly. Why does it keep saying monthly? Oh, it keeps saying 3%. Wait, what was inflation fiscal year 24? But it's not full yet. So okay, it keeps saying around 3%. If that's accurate, which me being an economics major, kind of sad that I'm not even sure if this is correct. They're raising our rent 12.5% in around a 3% annual inflation economy. They're essentially saying the value of our apartment adjusted for inflation went up by around 9%. Is that how you do math with this? I don't think so.
Oh, you were asking the wrong guy.
I think I'm doing really bad mental
Once you
math
started
right
with the
now.
numbers, I started fucking around with my calendar. If you guys, the visual fucking listeners, couldn't tell.
But yeah, essentially, I think so. Okay, so let's say like the value of our apartment was $100 a month when we got it, and so then the value of the dollar decreased by like 3%. So then let's say the value of our apartment in when we moved in should now be $103. They raised it by 12.5%, which would be. So yeah, I think you can do it like that. Whatever. So they basically are saying that like inflation adjusted, they're raising the rent in our apartment about like 8 to 10% because like it's just like the value's gone up.
You don't want to
However,
get into specific numbers, right? Or do you? Because we
no, I
got
don't.
our shit raised. Okay, then I'm not going to say the specific number, but I will just add that our shit got raised for our second year and by a significantly less amount than yours just got raised, bro. Like pretty significantly less. And we were pissed about that.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's crazy. And it's funny because it's coming at a time when I've seen nothing besides like Manhattan rents are falling for the first time in like several years, which is like extremely interesting because
It
like
doesn't seem to be the case.
no, they're asking for a shit ton more money. The place beneath us got brand new bathroom, brand new kitchen. Ours, they didn't say anything about renovating them. I'm sure if we asked them, they could maybe get something to happen there. But like, it's just completely unfounded. Why the fuck would our rent get raised? The price of rent is stagnant, if anything, especially in the Upper West Side. I'm seeing in the median asking rent has gone down 4.1% in the Upper West Side. So if the median asking rent's gone down, inflation's around 3%, why the fuck is our rent getting increased an eighth?
Motherfucker.
12.5%.
What the
Makes no sense.
fuck?
Makes no fucking sense. This is fucking crazy. What the fuck are they
Actually,
talking
send me your
about?
landlord's info. I'll talk to him, I guess.
So yeah, just a simple fucking cost
A little fuck
analysis.
you to you,
That's
I guess,
insane.
on a
It
nice
is a little bit of a
Saturday
fuck you.
morning.
It
Oh,
is a
enjoy
fuck
your
you.
Saturday, by the way.
I do think our place was a pretty good deal when we first got it, but like, fuck off. Like, charge that to the new tenants, dude. Like, we were here, and like we're pretty chilled. Like, we've had several things go wrong in this apartment, and like we don't ever really do anything about them. Like, we have two fucking light bulbs that are out in here. They've been out for months. And we haven't said a fucking thing.
Well, I have one
Like,
too. I don't even live there, and I know an issue at your apartment.
what?
Isn't one of your washer or dryers like broken or something? Like
Oh
only
yeah,
like
all
one of them?
well, there's like mold growing in all the washers, and like only two dryers work.
Disgusting, bro.
Yeah, it's like we could be a much more annoying tenant. I'm actually really frustrated with them. That's crazy.
Maybe with the rent increase, it's more incentive to start like doing that shit.
Well,
Oh
we're not
yeah,
gonna
by the
fucking live
way,
here anymore. We're gonna have to move.
you could use that money for a new washer when I pay you all that extra money per month.
Yeah. Speaking of which, can you send me over that money for living here for a couple of days?
Yeah, all of a sudden you need it.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna cut to a new segment, unless you have any final words to say about your landlord.
No, just gonna have to get on the moving process, which fucking sucks. But oh well.
So we did get another sort of email, but it was in the form of a text from a former Himothy of the Week winner,
Uh huh.
and he's got USA basketball on the mind.
Okay.
And so the players on the team voted for who they think is the best player. And
Why would they
um,
do that?
yeah, it's pretty strange. But our friend here asked us to, guess who voted for these top five winners. So LeBron got first with 5 votes. Second, or tied for second, was Curry, Ant-Man, and Drew Holiday with 2 votes. And then tied for 5 was Embiid, Davis, Leonard, and Bam with 1 vote, which actually doesn't make sense to me. But so so who do you think voted for Braun as the best player on the team?
I don't fucking know. Probably
I bet
AD, right?
AD guaranteed. Honestly, I bet Embiid did as well.
Yeah.
I bet Curry said fucking Braun.
You think?
I kind of do.
Don't they have some low-key beef?
What about KD? What do you think he said?
Probably LeBron, right?
I feel like maybe KD actually said like Ant-Man or something like that. Because why is Ant-Man tied for 2? That doesn't make sense to me.
I
And why
feel
is
like
Drew Holiday tied for 2?
is D White on the team at this time?
No, not yet, because Leonard's tied for 5th.
Oh, okay. Um,
Oh, I
I
see how they did this now. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
what?
I was just like confused on the voting. I'm like, how did the Brown only get 5 votes? Nah, I was just fucking up in my brain so bad. I don't even want to explain.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if Katie would vote for Ant because I mean I think Katie had some like he was annoyed at some of the T Wolves in that series, wasn't he? With like I mean
Oh yeah,
and
Ant was talking mad shit.
yeah, I feel like he wouldn't be nice to Ant after that. I feel like they kind of had some beef.
Our good friend who sent this text said that he thinks that LeBron is the one that voted for AD, and he thinks Ant-Man voted for himself.
You can vote for yourself.
Maybe that's what he's calling though.
If you can vote for yourself, I'm sorry, but I do think I think a lot of these guys might have voted for themselves. Like I think Braun. Well, maybe he probably did vote for AD if AD got a vote.
If you
but-
had a vote, who are you picking? Best player on the team, not like all time or anything. Like who are you voting best player on the team?
Like, if it was actually me in real life and I was voting, I would probably vote LeBron, not because I think he's the best player, but like you just have to like show respect in that regard. In terms of who I actually think is the best player on the team, Embiid by far. But
You think Embiid's the best on the team?
yeah, like by a landslide.
You think Embiid's better than Curry? I think I'd pick Curry.
Are you insane,
What?
dude? Well, in terms of like an impact, like yeah, Curry's amazing, but like
Embiid's the only player on the entire team who has never made it to the conference finals.
yeah, but okay. Why is the Sixers fan like spouting anti-Embiid fucking bullshit to me, dude? Embiid is like a top 1, 2 player of the league, like easily. Like
You think?
yes. Like what?
I think
didn't even-
Jokic and Giannis are better.
No, dude, Giannis is not better than Embiid.
Bro,
Are you kidding me?
Giannis had a great season.
I'm very tainted like from a betting perspective, but like when you look at like the impact of like team strengths and like point spreads based on like Embiid being out versus like a Curry or versus like a who else
Is
up
Embiid the
there?
biggest by far?
Embiid and Jokic are like not even close, dude.
Like the on-off
Giannis-
numbers?
Yes, things like that. Like in terms of like who actually helps their team win the fucking game, Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Kawhi is up there. Guys like that. Obviously, Curry's amazing, but like it's not like that. Like the impact you can have as a guard who is mostly a shooter, especially at this point in Curry's career. I mean, obviously different when he was a little bit younger, but like it's just not close, dude. It's just not close. Talent, like I'm voting for LeBron if I'm there because like you gotta show respect. But like Embiid is the best player on the team. I don't think it's close.
Dang, I don't know if I'd give him that, dude. I don't know if I could give it to him.
You would take Curry over Embiid?
I'd maybe take KD too.
Okay. So you just don't know ball. Okay, cool. KD, bro. He's like maybe the third best player on his
But
own
just
fucking
like
team.
pure like talent wise, I'm going off. So if you'd pick Booker over KD,
Like 10 times out of 10. Like,
shade, no
Dude, are you-
shade.
you're out of your mind. There are times when I think Grayson fucking Allen had a better impact on the Suns than KD. I'm not joking, bro. I'm not joking. KD like
I'm
ass.
clipping that,
sometimes.
bro. I'm clipping that. That's going on TikTok.
Go for it, dude. Like look at the numbers, bro. Like look at the impact they have. Like KD is not effective defensively. KD when he's not shooting well is not effective offensively. He doesn't do anything. Grayson Allen gives you better 3-point percentage. He's like there on defense at least, and like he requires people to like guard him anywhere. KD is like, well, he does require defense, but like, damn, bro, I don't know. He requires the ball a lot more. He's not as good of a shooter. Like,
Well, KD on like your pedestal of like USA, would he like rank top 5 for you? Because he didn't even get a fucking vote.
no, no, he wouldn't. No, I think KD might even be the worst player on that team.
You think Drew Holiday's better?
I mean, we're talking like impact on winning the game. I think yes. If we're talking like who's better at basketball, KD's better.
That's
All
kind of
day.
how I'm viewing it. Just like who's the best at basketball.
Well, then that's a little different.
Because like Embiid, like yeah, he's effective, but like he's like getting fouled and shit and like hitting free
Yeah,
throws. Like KD is like one of those players that like he is like so skilled, like every shot he takes, you know?
like okay, if you put a team of Embiid and then like replacement level players all around, and then a team of KD and replacement level players all around,
Oh, I mean, Embiid's beating him. Embiid's beating him.
Embiid wins the game like blowout. I think you
He's
know
beating them, bro, easily.
easily. And but like, how many guys can you say that about? You know, like Embiid versus who? Everybody else in the entire like arena is a replacement level NBA player. Like who? What team beats him? Curry doesn't. LeBron
The
doesn't.
only one I would argue would be like yeah, like Jokic, and he's not obviously on the USA team.
Yeah, Jokic could beat him. I don't know. I'm not sure. The Embiid Jokic debate is interesting. I don't have an opinion. I think they're both really good. But um, yeah,
Embiid do be
dude.
dodging him a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't actually imagine myself getting heated over this. Him getting one vote is very disrespectful. Do you guys not like Embiid? I feel like Embiid's likable,
Nah, he's not very liked. He's not very liked.
but he's kind of cool.
He's a little bit of a flopper.
Yeah, but like, who is in the NBA?
True. Yeah, this whole team, bro, besides like Kawhi and like Drew Holiday.
I could see Kawhi now. Fuck.
How funny is it that Kawhi left, dude? This is like enough with this the voting and stuff, but Kawhi left and then they replaced with Derek White. I
Did
just
you see Jalen Brown's tweet about that?
yes, and dude, he is so salty. But like I feel like he's right.
He's right to be salty, but I would take D White over Jalen Brown, me personally.
I think when you have all these mouths to feed, you might as well just grab D White just because like
Yes,
he can
yes.
like he'll be okay with like just like playing clamp D and like hitting threes, you know?
When people were saying Steve Kerr playing 4D chess and like trying to fuck up the chemistry in Boston, which like I mean, Jalen Brown's obviously pissed. I think he has good reason to be. That's fucked up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been seeing this stuff and like I don't even want to get like too far into this like realm of things, but like people are also saying like Jaylen Brown and like Kyrie are left off because of like their like religious beliefs and stuff and like aren't like USA like kind of energy. Just because like I can't remember exactly what their religion is, but I'm pretty sure they both have the same.
I thought
Uh,
Kyrie, if anything, you're gonna talk about like off the court stuff. I feel like Kyrie's got a whole other fucking beast to deal with. You know,
oh yeah.
like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on the religious stuff. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
But
I don't want to comment on it either, really, but I think it's interesting that like Kyrie's not there. I feel like he is just like I don't know. I remember his iconic like USA clips when he was younger, like dribbling through the whole team.
yeah, I mean, in terms of like guys who are there because of their name, he probably is up there and should be on the team. But like, I don't know. In terms of talent, I don't have a problem with him being off. Do you?
Not too much the anymore. He's not quite the same. Doesn't have
I
the
do think
same juice.
D White over him and Jalen Brown is a little bit like really. But like, I mean, I think it's the right decision. But I am a little bit like
I think it's better for like a team from like a team perspective. Like having
yeah.
a guy like Drew and Derek on the team like solidifies you so much more to me than like just like another like amazing scorer, you know?
Yeah, but like, I mean, I even think, and I clearly we don't agree about this, but like, I think a guy like KD is largely there because of his name brand. I mean,
Oh yeah, dude. That's why I feel about like multiple players on the team, honestly. I like I get it, like Braun and Curry and shit, but like I don't know. I feel
yeah,
like they left Paul George off? What the fuck? What the
um,
fuck?
you're not gonna hear me complaining about that. Uh,
But just name value. Just name
yeah,
value. Like he's
yeah,
like an iconic USA player, but like left off.
yeah.
But
D
like
White over Paul George, Kyrie, and Jalen Brown is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's players we're not even like thinking of. Like, what about like Brunson, bro? Like Brunson is fucking amazing. Like,
He
even
didn't
like
make the team.
Brunson's not on Team USA, bro. Like, he is better than like a lot of players on the team.
They took him over. They took D White over Brunson too.
Yes, bro, as a replacement. Like, what the fuck?
Drew Holiday over Brunson. Okay, now I'm kind of confused. That seems weird.
No, dude, like, there's some really good players that did not make it. So it's like, damn.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
a little strange, I think.
But yeah, it's just we'll just all think like, dang, why didn't Trae Young make it? And we'll just have to live with that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna lose sleep thinking about Trey Young.
Um, all right, well, let's anything else you want to talk about before Himothy? Do you want to do some boys chatter?
Yeah, I need one piece of advice first though.
Okay.
I need to. I'm ordering food. So I'm so sorry. I'm ordering food while we're talking, and I need to get to $20 to get like a big discount. And I'm either gonna get a smoothie or another coffee.
I
And
was
I
about to say,
just
did you add a drink in? That's always
I
the best way to hit
I'm
that.
trying to decide smoothie or coffee. I think I slightly prefer smoothie, but the smoothies are like over what I actually need to add, you know? Like so I'm at my subtotal right now is it's it's 13.92. I need to add like $6 ish. And this the coffee is like perfect. It's like $7, I'm pretty sure. But the smoothies, which I would rather get, because I mean, you saw me, I was just finishing my coffee. Like I just
Probably
had
like $10.
$12 for a smoothie. So I'm going like $6
Holy
over,
fucking
like six
shit.
dollars overkill, and like I don't really even want it, you know. But like no, I do want the smoothie, but I would not be ordering it if not for the discount, you know.
Is there any other like drink options that would be a good choice? Like a tea?
Um,
Is there a tea option?
there's an orange ginger $8 like juice. And invigorate your senses with orange ginger cold pressed juice. I don't give a fuck about juice.
Oh,
I'm gonna
holy shit, bro. We have 10 minutes left. Let's do Himothy. I don't think we have boys talk.
okay. Let's do Timothy then. Well, can I do a quick thing on the boys, maybe?
Yeah, quick thing. I'll keep an eye
Uh,
on the time
yeah, please do.
because we're not going spoiler anyway, so we can't really get into as like lengthy of a discussion as like it warrants. But
Yeah, I also need time to drum up a Timothy. But okay, boys. The boys, I'm disappointed in it. Basically, I think that nothing makes any sense, and a lot of the characters are stagnant. I don't think any decision making is sensible. I think the show is kind of relying on the vibe they've built up, shock value, and like fun moments, rather than like really fleshing out an interesting plot, interesting characters, and consequential important actions. I think that a lot of different examples are like the revolving door of the characters within like the boys group, i.e. Butcher, i.e. NN, i.e. Frenchie. They're all having these like small moments of like character reflection, but they all end up being utterly meaningless when the characters turn heel and go right back to where they were in the beginning without really any development, any sensible thoughts, or any kind of changes. This isn't really a spoiler, even though I think a lot of these did kind of happen more recently. Because like I'm sorry, but like it's just I'm sorry. It's not
all
a spoiler, but
the leadership getting like swapped
yeah,
between.
yeah. I mean, like in the early parts of the season, they keep having this back and forth with Butcher, where it's like, we can't do Butcher. He's the worst guy ever. He's too irrational for us. There's no way, no way. And then like literally like 2 minutes later, we
Butcher's
it's
here. We need him.
we need Butcher. We need Butcher for this. And they're just going to like they're just going to confront like Sister Sage, which like yeah, I mean she's an interesting character, but like they're not trying to go murder Homelander or anything, you know? It's like okay, so no one like they're not sticking to their ideals because like them truly telling Butcher to fuck off and like not coming back to him would be interesting, and like you would have to see a lot of like of that dynamic changing with Butcher and like that, but they just won't commit to it. They want to like dip their toes in this pool of like internal like fighting and these characters having to deal with it, but they don't want to commit to it, and it makes every single thing that happens so much less like important and meaningful because it's like, oh, Butcher actually does fuck up here and goes too far, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, he's still going to be let in just the same. or when we talk about, Frenchie's most recent, like, oh, he turned himself in because he feels so distraught. This most recent episode, I'm so sorry, it's a spoiler, but like he comes out of prison and he's the same guy. He's like, oh, like I had to, but like, and here he is just doing the same shit. I mean, like, no meaningful reflection, no meaningful consequence for anything. It's just, oh, Mallory pulled some strings. Like, okay,
It's always
talk
very
about,
convenient for sure.
yeah,
I
talk
do want
about
to say
yes.
before we get into like let's roast it, I do want to say that I feel like I've said this to you off air, but like you can't quite expect the boys to have like insanely good like continuity and like consequences like it's just like not quite that show, I don't think. Like I don't think it's trying to be like that complex.
I see what you're saying, and I agree. I think they're leaning more into the one-liners, into the shock value and things like that, and that's fine. And I'm still watching it, and like I still am having fun watching it. It's just frustrating because I do think the show has the capability to be more if it wanted to. Like I don't think it would be too difficult for them to like really like dive into these characters at at a meaningful level because they have some good like groundwork for them. I just
Definitely.
yeah, I think that they're having fun with it, and that's fine. It just frustrates me because like they have such an intriguing universe and like intriguing dynamics to where like they could really make something out of this that like hits hard, but like at the end of each episode, I'm left feeling like kind of just empty in terms of like a okay, like I guess this like I don't care, when these characters like end up having their setbacks. I don't care because one, I just like don't really care about any of the characters anymore, and two, like I know they're gonna get out of it, just fine. Whereas like at different parts in the show, I feel like they did have a little bit more intrigue of like people are kind of getting killed off, like you never really know what's gonna happen next, and like you've also mentioned to me, you can definitely point towards parts in past seasons where like they don't really like care too much about like having these things be extremely meaningful. They're very happy to kind of keep things at a more surface level. And I think you're right. I think you have more leeway with those things in the beginning of a show because like you're building stuff and like the viewer is distracted by a lot of the fun things going on. I just think at this point they should be reaching for a higher bar. I know that we don't have time to dive into this, but I'm just like ultimately a little bit disappointed with how surface these things are when I think they could be going for more.
Yeah,
That's my
I think a more lengthy discussion next week would be appropriate
sure,
because
sure.
it is actually a fun conversation and I would love to like get more into it, but we are running out of time here.
Yeah, at least it's not the fucking bear.
Um, all right, well, I'm dropping Himothy here. Last week, Hot Dog won. Let's go. Hot Dog beat TJ Oshie. Let's fucking go. Um, my Himothy this week is Jose, my air conditioning guy, because our apartment had no AC for the last 2 days, and Jose came in today and he got that shit done in fucking 5 minutes.
Oh, just just keep going, please.
Jose came in, he got that shit done in 5 goddamn minutes, and it's nice and chilly in my room now, and I'm not sweating so bad. And Jose easily wins Timothy of the Week for us this week.
Okay. Well, that I have nothing but respect for Jose. That's very nice. It's important to stay cool during these times. I'm gonna go with something that I've been saying a lot today, half as a joke, but the more I say it, the more real it becomes. I want a damn margarita tonight, bro. I've been really on a margarita kick recently, and I think margaritas are gonna be my Himothy because margaritas are fun. I also like I don't understand this too much, but people always just like say this, and I guess it's true that like tequila is an upper, whereas all other alcohol is a downer. And like that's kind of fun because like I do
Is
get a
that
little bit.
true?
I don't fucking know. People just say that, but like, but like hold on, let me look it up. Is tequila a stimulant? No, tequila is a depressant. Okay,
But it just be
so
feeling that way? Is that like the
I guess I feel like I've heard that so much. Tequila is not a stimulant. All right. Oh, but it's one of the healthiest spirits because it's low in carbohydrates and calories. Okay, whatever the fuck. I don't care. That actually, I wish I hadn't looked that up because every time I've drank a margarita or tequila, I've always been like, "Let's go!" Like I'm gonna be
I'm
like a
getting
lesbian
upped?
in it, and I've always kind of felt that way. But now I realize I had no reason to, so that's great. Thank you so much. But yeah, I guess I'll refrain from making the point about it being an upper because it's clearly not. So great,
It
my
it provides the illusion of it.
Yeah, my Himothy has a massive Achilles heel now, but yeah, it provides the illusion. I've been getting a lot of spicy margaritas, and I do love some spice with my drink. And like, goddamn, they're so fucking good.
How do
We
they
have a
spice
friend.
it?
Um, Great question. I think jalapeno typically,
Is it
or
like
like some other
actually
flavor.
spicy when you drink it, or is it
Yes,
more so?
very. I shouldn't speak too much on it because I know people do it differently. I think there's a common kind of like concentrate people use, but I don't remember the name of it. And I have never made a home margarita, so I don't want to speak on it. Margarita heads, please cover your ears and don't fucking text me and be like, "Oh, they use it with it." Shut the fuck up. I don't care. Okay. So all I know is that I've ordered and asked for jalapeno margaritas, and I get them, and they taste spicy. So I think it's jalapeno. I don't fucking know. Do not fucking text me. But yeah, I love it. I love a good margarita, and I might enjoy one tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna go with margaritas for my Himothy.
Margs versus Jose, a battle of frickin' titans.
Jose
Um,
Cuervo is a popular tequila, right? That would
it
go with the
is, it
margarita.
is. That's actually like the main tequila, I feel like.
Ah, fun. Okay, well that's kind of funny. Well, there you go.
All right, guys, vote for Himothy. Send us emails.
Oh, how much time do we have?
Got like a
All right, we
minute.
have a minute. I want to show quickly off a dedicated viewer of the show did something cool. Chrome tab. Um, Look at this. They put up a sign on Spider Island in Wisconsin where I think they're staying right now. Dedicated to the show, Leo. I appreciate you so much. I've heard that you watch quite a bit. This is really fucking cool. I thought it was awesome. It's a really fun area, and keep doing what you're doing. I watch. He has a cooking thing next. He's look at that bear claw grip. Look at him go.
Wow.
I love Leo. So little
Thanks for
shout
tuning
out.
in, Leo.
Little
Send
shout
us an
out to people
email,
online.
bro.
Send us an email. I appreciate your viewership. You're a fantastic person, a fantastic viewer. I appreciate you. We appreciate everybody. Send us emails. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the weekend. It's Saturday. Let's get freaky.
Bye, guys.